Once there was a rich and greedy wolf who thought she was the best and fairest of them all. But one day it started to rain, and an old wolf came up and knocked on her door. The rich and greedy wolf was surprised to hear someone knocking at her door, so she got up and walked to the door. She answered to see the old wolf there, who said, "May I please come in? It's raining and wet out here, and I'm getting very wet." The greedy wolf then said, "Why should I let such an ugly, poor person like you inside my home?" As she began to close the door, the old wolf then stopped the door from closing and said, "You foolish child, I am no ordinary wolf. You see, I am a witch, and I do not like the way you have been spoken to me." The wolf gasped and said, "I am sorry," as she began to beg for mercy. She didn't really mean it, though, and the old witch knew this. "I can see it in your eyes. You are not telling the truth. I shall turn you into the most ugly beast anyone has ever seen." As she started to use her magic, "You shall become a scaly, greedy creature," she said. "You shall become a creature that can breathe the flames of greed and lies, as you fly over, looking at what you want and must have, until you can learn to share and not be a selfish, greedy person. You shall suffer this curse of being an ugly creature of greed and selfishness, and as I know nobody will ever love a greedy creature like you." As she walked away, the wolf started to feel strange. She started to feel kind of lightheaded-ish. She felt weird. She thought it was all just a dream of what just happened, so she decided to go to bed. Boy, did she make a poor choice. She went into her kitchen and looked at all her beautiful gems when getting in the fridge and getting something to drink. She then went to bed and looked at her dragon. She had learned about them and learned about how they loved gold and they would hoard it. She always thought it was cool until the next morning when she woke up. When she woke up the next morning, she was a terrible, bloodthirsty creature. She didn't know this at first, and so she decided to go out into her kitchen, where she then looked into one of her gems and saw the reflection of a terrible beast. She screamed as she ran away, thinking it was something in the gem. She ran in her bedroom. She then looked in the reflection of her robotic dragon and saw that this creature was her. She started to cry. "I'm so ugly. I am not beautiful anymore. How could anybody love a horrible-looking creature like me?" She then stomped through. She started to trash everything she had. She screamed and roared at the top of her lungs. "You evil witch! How could you do this to me? How could you do this to me?" She then lived in the house for a long time, lonely, scared, and sad, for she had become what she thought was a horrible, ugly creature that no one could ever love. One day a brave, handsome wolf set out on an adventure. All the ladies in his village loved him so, wished that he would marry them. But he did not think this was true love, just looking and beauty. He thought that it mattered on what was on the inside. He set out on an adventure to go find his true love in heart. which he would then marry, not the greedy girls who wanted him just for his beauty. So he set out on an adventure to find her, his true love, forever. Many years later, the greedy dragon now slept in its cave of slumber, knowing that forever it would bear the curse of looking like this horrible creature. Unlike the boy who had just come across a strange castle or house, he looked around and then decided to venture inside. He didn't even knock, he just entered it. He looked around and saw beautifulness everywhere, gold and jewels and fancy diamonds and all. He had wondered who lived here to have all this wonderful stuff. He entered the kitchen, for then the princess heard him. The dragon. She got up and stormed out into her living room. The brave prince heard this and just scurried everywhere trying to find a place to hide. But it was too late by the time she had entered the kitchen. She roared fiercely, "Who are you, and how dare you enter my home?" The boy was afraid, but he was brave. He stood up and said, "I have come an adventure for my true love." And the dragon then said and spoke out, "Well, you will find no true love here, only your end in a fatal flurry of fire." The boy said, Is that the only way I can go? Is there no other way to get out of this? No other way to be free?" The dragon then started to blush and said, "Fine, I shall let you stay, but in the morning you shall leave." She then stormed off into the living room and said, "Come!" The boy then came out in the living room and followed her. The dragon said, You must not enter my room. You must not try to leave without me knowing, and you must not do anything that will annoy me." The boy asked, "What will annoy you?" And the dragon said, "Silence! I don't want to hear your stupid questions. You know what will annoy someone and what won't." The dragon then stormed off into its bedroom. The boy, curious, then followed. The dragon stormed around in its bedroom, and the boy went up to the bedroom. He hid behind a metal egg and waited for the dragon to come out. The dragon then stormed out into the outside. "Do not leave the house or you will pay," she said as she went outside onto her porch. The boy then went into her room to see the dragon. But something was with the dragon. It had the magic of what caused her fatal curse. By the time she came back, it was too late, and the boy didn't have enough time to get back out of the room. "How dare you not listen to me?" she said. "You will now die." As the dragon lunged at the boy then saw in her eyes how she had learned the punishment of her curse, and that she was no longer greedy and only wished for someone to love her. As she lunged at him, the boy then reached out and hugged her and gave her a big kiss. The dragon, pretty much shocked that the boy just did this, started to ponder around his room and asked, "Why did you do this, boy?" The boy then said, "Because I have found my true love. It is you." Later that night, the witch had returned. The witch had entered the house and walked, and she said, "Aha! You have found someone who truly loves you. You have learned your crimes." "Yes, I have," shouted the dragon. "But but how will he ever stay loving me?" "I don't care how you look," he said. "I only care of how you are." He then sat next to her and told the witch to leave her alone. The witch said, "Very well, but I must do something before I leave." And just like that, the beautiful wolf became herself again. The boy was shocked to see what she originally looked like. Later that night, they were married, and they had happily ever after.